Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here again to, well, take your notes, your ideas, and really turn them into something surprising. And today, it's a really unique one. We're diving into some personal notes from a listener, looking at three kind of unexpected animals: the gecko, the catfish, and the cicada. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Our listener, we're calling him Tommy, sees these creatures as more than just animals. They represent, for him, different parts of a subpersonality. If you're not familiar, that's a psychology concept, like different modes we operate in. And he calls his own approach Tommy logic. It's all about finding meaning, finding strategies by looking at nature. So our mission, see how this all weaves together into a personal playbook for, life.
Yeah, and what's really compelling, I think, is how this pulls together so much. You've got biology, you've got cultural myths, even a bit of psychology, all synthesized into a framework for understanding yourself and, importantly, for action. It's this great mix of, ancient wisdom, how people saw these animals centuries ago, and a very modern way to apply it personally. We're basically connecting nature's lessons to maybe your own operating system.
Okay, let's start with the first one then, the gecko. When you think gecko, what pops into your head? Maybe that amazing climbing ability. It's true. Those sticky toe pads are incredible, biologically speaking. Let them climb almost anywhere. But did you know many of them can also auto-cut, basically drop their tails to escape voluntarily. Yeah, and then they grow it back. And another surprising thing, most don't have eyelids. They have this clear scale. They lick clean.
Right, yeah.
You find them everywhere, too. Forests, cities, sometimes right in your house. So, okay, with all that, what does it mean for this Tommy logic?
Well, if you connect those physical things to symbolic meaning, you find some really rich stuff across cultures. Like in Hawaii, they were sometimes seen as divine messengers linked to ancestors. In parts of Asia, Africa, often guardian spirits.
Guardian spirits.
Interesting. And that idea of renewal, the tail growing back, plus their adaptability, maybe even a sort of psychic sense because they feel vibrations. It all points to this idea of adaptable resilience. It's this ability to not just get by, but to really thrive, to change, to bounce back from harm. So for Tommy, the gecko is the agile problem solver. The vibe is adaptable, unflappable, sort of quietly clever.
Adaptable resilience. I like that much more than just sticky feet. It feels deeper. So what specific, tactics does Tommy pull from this gecko idea?
Okay, so translating to some very concrete principles. First, tenacious adaptability, like the toe pads, right? It's being able to stick, to find your grip, in tricky situations, a new team, maybe new tech, even family stuff without losing your footing. Then there's precise economy, using energy wisely. Making targeted moves, not just flailing around. One effective action.
Less thrashing, more precision. Got it.
Exactly. And the tail drop thing, that inspires strategic detachment. It's being willing to consciously let go of something that's actually holding you back. Could be an old plan, a role, maybe even an ego blow, just to keep moving forward.
Letting go to grow.
That's a good way to put it. And finally, subtle awareness. Picking up on signals others might miss, like the quiet tones in a meeting, unspoken stuff, early signs of risk, letting you adjust before things blow up.
That strategic detachment one. That sounds really powerful, but also kind of tough. How do you know what's really holding you back versus, a challenge you just need to push through?
Yeah, that's a really good question. The way Tommy frames it, it seems less about avoiding hard things and more about knowing the difference between, let's say, productive struggle and just banging your head against a wall.
The gecko drops its tail for a real threat, right? Not a minor hassle. So it's asking yourself, is this struggle leading somewhere useful? Or is it just draining me? It's a conscious choice, not just running away.
Okay, that makes sense. It's a deliberate assessment. Right, let's shift now from the agile gecko on the wall down into the water. The catfish are grounded navigator. These fish are everywhere, mostly freshwater, usually near the bottom. And they look distinct, don't they? No scales, often bony plates or just skin. And those whiskers, they're called barbels. They're packed with sensory cells, helping them taste and feel around in murky water.
Crucial for them.
And here's a kicker. Maybe up to half of catfish species have venomous spines in their fins. For defense, apparently it's quite a painful sting.
Yeah, definitely something to be aware of. They're mostly active at night, eat all sorts of things, and they even communicate drumming with their swim bladder or rubbing fin spines together. That stridulation sound.
Yeah, and building on that biology, the symbolism is fascinating because it's so varied. You mentioned murky water. Well, in Japan, there's this giant catfish myth, Namazu, living underground, causing earthquakes. Huge, uncontrollable power.
Wow, earthquakes.
But then you look at pre-dynastic Egypt, and catfish symbols meant dominance, kingship. Quite different. And some Native American cultures, like the Ojibwe, have catfish clans. They see them as power animals connected to wisdom, the earth.
So power, wisdom, earth.
Mm-hmm.
But also earthquakes, a real mix.
Exactly. And then there's the everyday view, farmed for food worldwide, popular in fish tanks. So for Tommy, the catfish becomes the grounded navigator. The core vibe is steady, sensory, aware, and kind of community-minded.
Grounded navigator, I like that. So often associated with the depths, the unseen. How does that translate into principles for Tommy?
It shapes some core values. First, environmental acuity. Using those barbells as like an emotional radar, reading the muddy waters of complex situations to make really solid calls.
Sensing the vibe, basically.
Pretty much. Then, anchored fundamentals. A real appreciation for the basics, budgets, logistics, duty of care, things that really anchor a team or a project, getting the foundation right.
The bottom line first, maybe.
You could say that. And calm demarcation. Those venomous spines, they represent clear, firm boundaries. Not being aggressive, but being able to say no or not this way, calmly, to protect your energy.
So the spines aren't just defense, they're boundary markers.
Precisely. You can be warm, but clear. And lastly, unseen stewardship. This is about quietly taking care of the hidden stuff. The operational snags, the awkward team dynamics, the technical debt, smoothing things out so others can do their best work visibly.
Unseen stewardship. And that calm demarcation,
Yeah.
they feel very mature, like protecting your energy so you can do that stewardship work.
Exactly. It's not about being walled off. It's about having that clear internal line. That quiet strength lets the catfish navigate its world effectively.
Okay. Here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Our third creature, the cicada, known for that dramatic, often very loud emergence. Their life cycle is just wild. Nymphs live underground for years, could be 2, 5, or those famous 13 or 17-year periodical ones, just feeding on roots.
A long time hidden.
Then, boom, they all come out together en masse. Their adult life is short, mostly about that incredibly loud chorus made by vibrating membranes called tymbals, all for mating. They mate, lay eggs, and then that's pretty much it. They die within weeks.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, wow, the symbolism is rich, goes back millennia. Greek myths had cicadas as humans transformed, cursed to sing forever. Aesop's fable used the cicada song versus the ant's work. Different life philosophies.
The singer versus the worker.
Right. But in many other places, China, Japan, ancient Greece, even Provence and France, they're powerful symbols of resurrection, immortality, even spiritual joy. Ancient Chinese tombs often had jade cicadas placed with the dead, symbolizing rebirth.
Rebirth and immortality. That's powerful.
Definitely. So it raises this question, how does that long, quiet period, followed by a short, loud burst, apply to like personal strategy today when everyone wants constant updates?
Good question.
For Tommy, the cicada is about timing and transformation. The core vibe is patient, cyclical, and being unapologetically loud when the moment is right.
Unapologetically loud at the right moment. I like that.
Yeah.
Especially after being quiet for so long. What are the specific cadences from this?
Okay, so it gives these rhythms. First, long game readiness, being willing to be underground, learning, building, healing, preparing, and then emerging with focus. A big launch, a key conversation, a major pivot.
All that unseen work pays off.
Exactly. Then, strategic resonance, making your song count. It's about a clear, simple message, repeated effectively, to get your tribe moving together. Signal, not just random noise.
Rallying people.
Yeah. And respecting cycles. This is huge. Honoring the quiet, dormant phases just as much as the active ones. Making sure your peaks are sustainable, not just burnouts waiting to happen.
That's a big countercultural idea right now.
It really is. And finally, the legacy impulse. Thinking beyond the immediate sprint. What lasts? What impact echoes after you're done singing, so to speak?
But that respecting cycles point, it feels really important, but also difficult. It's hard to embrace being underground sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. But the cicada is a powerful reminder that incredible transformation happens in those quiet phases. That burst of energy is only possible because of the long prep. It's about building deep roots deliberately.
Right. It's not laziness, it's preparation. So, okay, we've got the gecko, the catfish, the cicada. What happens when we braid them all together? This is the core of Tommy logic, right? The gecko seems to set the tactics, the agile moves, the adaptability for the day-to-day. The catfish sets the values, stability, caring for the community, those clear boundaries. your foundation.
Your grounding, yeah.
And the cicada sets the cadence, that rhythm of patience, preparation, then powerful timed release. It really comes together in that tagline Tommy uses: grip, ground, go loud.
Yeah, and what's really brilliant is how this translates into a very practical, like tiny playbook for everyday life, for weekly reviews, for big moments. So daily, there's a Gecko pass, like a 90-second scan in the morning. What's one expectation or task I can just drop, like the tail? And then what's one small, precise move under 10 mins I can make on my hardest task?
I love that. A quick tail drop for the to-do list, then one focused climb. Simple.
Exactly. Stick strategically, don't just run hard. Then weekly, do catfish rounds. Check the mud, essentially. Maybe an hour to look at finances, review any risks, check in on someone's well-being, team, or family, and consciously restate a boundary. Like, okay, reminder, no work comms after 6, call if it's urgent, anchors the week.
Those rounds sound like that essential maintenance for the unseen stuff, the unseen stewardship you mentioned.
Absolutely. Keeps the water clear. And then, for a big moment, a launch, a big talk, you use the cicada chorus. Craft a super concise, maybe 3-line rally message. Why now? What are we doing? How can you help? And then, crucially, schedule a couple of echoes of that message, maybe a day later, a week later, so it really lands.
Yeah, so the song carries.
Right. And this logic also gives you quick decision guides. Things feeling ambiguous, uncertain. Think Gecko. Build a small prototype. Test something reversible. Stakes high, but things are murky. Go catfish. Pause, sense the situation, ask a grounding question, what's the real cost here, or what's our duty of care?
Get back to basics.
Yeah, and if you just need momentum, need to get things moving, activate cicada. Pick a date, create a clear drumbeat, make your intention known, make it exciting.
So it's like, which animal's wisdom fits this particular challenge? What about, like, self-awareness, knowing your strengths and maybe blind spots from this model?
Good point. Tommy's note suggests the combined superpower is reading rooms and routes, using the catfish's sensitivity and the gecko's knack for spotting paths and risks early.
Okay, that makes sense.
The potential pitfall or edge case is staying underground too long. The cicada's dormancy turning into procrastination when it's actually time to emerge.
Waiting too long to sing.
Exactly. And the non-negotiables, the core anchors. Clarity, fairness, and making sure there's recovery time built in. And you can even turn these into tiny, like, 60-second rituals. A grip check, Gecko. Name the main surface you're climbing today. Tough stakeholder, new skill, and just visualize that first foothold.
Okay.
A water test, catfish. Ask, what's the murkiest risk I'm avoiding? Write one sentence on how to mitigate it.
Acknowledging the muck.
And a chorus cue, cicada. Try voice noting your main message or headline in just 10 words. Does it resonate? Does it hum? If not, refine it before you broadcast.
Wow, that's incredibly concrete. Making it physical or at least visual in these quick bursts, it makes the ideas instantly usable. It's almost like having a personal logo or pocket reminders.
Totally. You could even visualize a crest for this Tommy logic, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a slim vertical tile for the gecko's path, crossing a low wave for the catfish's river, topped with 3 radiating lines for the cicada's call.
I can picture that. What about colors?
Maybe deep charcoal for grounding, river green for that steady presence, and a pop of ember gold for the signal, the call.
Nice.
And then those pocket mantras, quick hits to remember. Adapt fast, commit slow. Boundaries are how I stay kind, and when it's time, I make noise.
What a journey we've been on. Up walls with the gecko, through the depths with the catfish, and waiting for that cicada song. It's really quite amazing how looking closely at nature through your own lens can build such a specific personal toolkit for life. A whole operating system, really. Thanks so much to Tommy for sharing these notes. It's been genuinely fascinating to explore them in this deep dive.
It really has. And maybe this raises an important question for you, listening right now. What animals might resonate with your core ways of operating? Could looking at their traits, their stories, their behaviors help you build your own unique playbook? Sometimes, maybe the best insights are waiting in those unexpected comparisons, ready for you to find them.